Hello and welcome, my friend. I am so glad you are here today because what I am about to share with you can truly change the way you learn and speak English. I know sometimes learning English can feel hard, like a mountain you have to climb. You might feel like you don't have enough time, or you don't know the right way to start, or maybe you have tried before but you lost motivation along the way. But today, I want to show you that you do not need hours and hours every day. You do not need expensive courses, and you do not need to move to another country to improve your English. You only need 10 minutes a day, and you need to use those 10 minutes in the right way. That is what I call the daily fluency micro-challenges. Small, simple, focused actions you do every day that, over time, make a big difference. You might not notice the change after one day or even after 1 week, but after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you will look back and see how far you have come. You will see that you can speak more smoothly, understand more easily, and feel more confident. English is not just a school subject. It is not only about passing exams or getting grades. It is a life skill. It is a tool that opens doors. It connects you to people all over the world. It helps you share your ideas and your story. It gives you opportunities that you might not even imagine yet. When you can speak English, you can meet people from many countries. You can work in more jobs. You can travel without feeling lost, and you can learn from so many books, videos, and experiences that are only available in English. And most importantly, it gives you confidence. The confidence to speak your thoughts, to share your feelings, to tell your dreams. Your voice matters, and when you can use English freely, your voice can reach far beyond your own town or city. The idea of these 10-minute challenges is simple. Your brain learns better in small bursts. You do not give it all the water it will ever need in one day. If you pour too much water at once, it will overflow and waste. Instead, you give it a little every day. That small amount, given regularly, helps the plant grow strong and healthy. Your English learning works the same way. A short, focused effort every day will grow your skills faster than long, tiring sessions once in a while. That is why I want you to give me just 10 minutes a day. But I want those 10 minutes to be full of energy, focus, and action. No wasting time, no half attention, no distractions. When you give your full attention for a short time, you remember better, you feel less stressed, and you are more likely to come back the next day because it does not feel too heavy or impossible. Over time, this becomes a habit, and habits are powerful because they work even when you don't feel motivated. When something is a habit, you do it without thinking too much. Brushing your teeth is a habit. You do it every day. It's not exciting, but it keeps you healthy. 10 minutes of English a day will keep your language skills alive and growing. Just like that, now let me explain how you can use those 10 minutes. The first thing I want you to try is to focus on just one word. Yes, only one. It may sound too small, but trust me, it works. When you choose one word, you can give it your full attention. You can repeat it many times, Listen to it carefully. Think of how to use it, and imagine situations where you can say it. Maybe today, your word is happy. You can think of all the ways you can use happy. I am happy today. This makes me happy. She looks happy. You practice saying it in different sentences, and soon you will never forget it. If you try to learn 20 words at once, your brain will not hold them all, but one. Word a day is easy, and after a week, you will have 7 strong words. After a month, 30. And these will not just be words you know in your head, they will be words you can use when you speak. Another thing you can do in your 10 minutes is speak out loud without fear. Many people can write in English or read in English but freeze. When it is time to speak, they are afraid of making mistakes, afraid someone will laugh, afraid they will not sound good. But here is the truth. Mistakes are part of learning. No child learns to walk without falling. No one learns to swim without splashing. And no one learns to speak a language without making mistakes. So, for 10 minutes, I want you to speak without stopping. Choose a topic you like. Maybe it is your favorite food, or what you did yesterday, or the place you want to visit one day. Key: speak and do not stop for the whole 10 minutes. Q: do not worry about grammar. Do not stop to translate in your head. Do not think too much about the perfect words. Just keep speaking. If you run out of ideas, repeat yourself or describe small details. The more you practice speaking like this, the easier it will be to talk to real people when the moment comes. Listening is also very important. You cannot reply well if you do not understand what others are saying. So, sometimes in your 10 minutes, just listen. Choose something in English, a short video, a podcast, a song, and listen like a detective. Your goal is not to understand every single word. Your goal is to catch key words, important clues, little pieces that help you guess the meaning. Over time, your brain gets better at finding these clues, and you understand more without trying so hard. Another simple but powerful activity is to think about your day in English before you go to bed. For 10 minutes, replay your day in your mind and describe it in English. I woke up at 7. I brushed my teeth. I ate breakfast. I went to work. If you do not know a word for something, try to explain it in another way. This trains your brain to think in English even when you do not have the perfect vocabulary. If you keep doing these small challenges every day, your English will grow stronger and stronger. You will notice that words come to your mind faster, that sentences flow more easily, that you understand more when you listen. And the best part is that you will not feel heavy or tired from learning, because 10 minutes is so easy to fit into your day. You can do it in the morning before work, during lunch break, or before bed. It can be in the bus, in the park, or in your kitchen while cooking. No excuses. 10 minutes is always possible. I want you to remember something important. The key is not perfection. The key is consistency. You do not have to be perfect today. You just have to show up every day. Even if some days are harder, even if you feel lazy sometimes, just do it. Even a small effort counts. Over time, all those small efforts join together and become something big. That is the power of these micro-challenges, and this is only the beginning of our journey. Now let's imagine your English like a muscle. If you go to the gym and try to lift very heavy weights for hours on the first day, you will feel sore, tired, and maybe you won't go back the next day. But if you start with small weights and lift them every day, your muscles grow stronger without too much pain. 10 minutes of English a day is like those small weights. It builds your skill without burning you out. Many people fail at learning English, not because they can't learn, but because they try to do too much at once, get tired, and stop. I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to feel good every day after your practice, to feel proud and ready for the next day. When you do these micro-challenges, you are training your brain in different ways. Sometimes you are speaking, sometimes you are listening, sometimes you are thinking in English. Each of these trains a different part of your skill, and together they make you fluent. You don't need a teacher watching you for hours. You just need to be active in your own learning for those 10 minutes. When you take control, learning becomes something exciting, something you own, not something that is forced on you. One thing you must know is that improvement is not always visible right away. Sometimes you will feel like you are stuck, like you are not improving at all. That is normal. Think about a child growing taller. You don't notice it every day, but one day you see they have grown. The same is true for your English. The small actions you take each day add up silently, and then one day you notice you can speak more confidently or understand faster. That day will come if you keep going. There will be days when you feel tired, busy, or not in the mood. On those days, you might think it's okay to skip today. But skipping one day makes it easier to skip the next, and before you know it, you've stopped completely. So, even on your busiest days, even when you don't feel like it, give yourself at least those 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be perfect. You might just review a few words, or listen to a short audio, or talk to yourself about something you see. The important thing is that you keep the chain unbroken. Every day you show up, you send a message to your brain. This is important to me, and your brain listens. Let's think about what 10 minutes can really do for you. If you learn one word deeply each day, in a year you have 365 strong, usable words. If you practice speaking for 10 minutes each day, in a year you have spent over 60 hours speaking English. If you listen actively for 10 minutes each day, in a year you have trained your ears for over 60 hours of listening. That is powerful. And it's all from just 10 minutes a day. The numbers may sound small at first, but they grow faster than you think. Okay? Because it's not hard to do, you keep doing it. That's the magic. Another thing you might not realize is that 10 minutes of focused English can make your brain more ready to notice English everywhere. When you practice daily, your brain starts to see English words on signs, in songs, in movies, in conversations around you. You will start to notice patterns, phrases, and meanings without even trying. It's like when you learn a new word and suddenly you see it everywhere. That's because your brain is now tuned in. I want you to also know that these micro-challenges are flexible. You can change them to fit your day. If one day you feel like speaking, do a speaking challenge. If another day you feel like listening, do a listening challenge. If you want to focus on vocabulary, take one word and explore it. The point is not to follow a strict plan, but to stay engaged and keep moving forward. The best learning happens when you are enjoying the process, not when you are forcing yourself to follow a boring routine. Think about the small wins you will collect. The first time you understand a whole sentence in a movie without subtitles. The first time you order food in English without hesitation. The first time someone tells you your English is improving. These moments feel so good, and they push you to keep going. Each micro-challenge you complete is a step toward more of those moments. You might be wondering, what if I make mistakes every time I speak? That's good. Mistakes are signs that you are trying. If you never make mistakes, it means you are not pushing yourself enough. Every mistake teaches you something. If you mispronounce a word today, you will remember it better tomorrow. If you use the wrong tense today, you will notice the right one next time. Mistakes are not failures. They are your teachers. And here's a secret. Native speakers don't speak perfectly either. They make grammar mistakes. They forget words. They say things in strange ways. The difference is they don't stop to correct themselves every time. They keep talking. And that is what you must do. Keep talking. Keep listening. Keep moving forward, even when it's not perfect. I also want you to realize that this is not just about language. These 10-minute challenges will train your mind to focus, to be patient, and to stick to something every day. These are skills that can help you in everything you do, not just in English. When you learn to show up every day for your English, you can show up every day for your health, your work, your dreams. I know that sometimes you might feel shy practicing, especially if people around you don't speak English. But you can practice alone. You can talk to yourself in the mirror, describe what you see around you, read out loud, or listen with headphones and repeat. You don't need an audience to grow. When the time comes to speak to others, all that solo practice will pay off. The more you practice, the more you will think in English. At first, you will translate from your language to English in your head. That is normal. But as you do these challenges, your brain will start to skip the translation step. You will just think in English and speak it naturally. That's when you know you are getting closer to fluency. There's something powerful about keeping your promise to yourself. Every day you do your 10 minutes, you prove to yourself that you can commit to something and follow through. That builds confidence, not just in English, but in yourself as a person. You start to believe that you can achieve bigger things because you see yourself doing small things consistently if you ever feel like you are too busy. Remember this, you can't find time, you make time. No one has extra hours lying around. Everyone is busy with work, family, school, and life. But if something matters to you, you make space for it. 10 minutes is less than the time you spend scrolling on your phone or watching a random video. If you can give those 10 minutes to your English, you are investing in yourself. And that is always worth it. I want you to see your 10-minute practice as a gift you give to yourself every day. It's not a chore, not a punishment, not something to rush through. It's your time to grow, to learn, to move closer to the confident speaker you want to be. You are doing it for you. And future you will thank you for it. You may not remember every single day of practice, but your brain will. It will store every little effort, every sound, every word, every sentence, and combine them into skill. One day, without even realizing it, you will answer a question smoothly, or understand a fast conversation, and you will think, when did this become so easy? The answer will be, it became easy slowly through the daily drops of effort you gave in those 10 minutes. This is why I want you to start today, not tomorrow. 10 minutes is nothing to lose, but everything to gain. And once you begin, do not stop. Keep building, keep collecting small victories, and watch your English grow beyond what you thought possible. You have already learned in the first part that small actions create big changes when you do them every single day. And by now, you might have already tried a few of these 10-minute micro-challenges yourself. Maybe you have chosen a word and lived with it for the whole day. Or maybe you have spoken out loud for a full 10 minutes without stopping, even if it felt strange at first. You might have listened like a detective, catching words and building meaning from clues. Or maybe you have replayed your day in English before going to bed. Each of these small activities is like a brick in the wall you are building. And with every brick, your English becomes stronger. But now, I want to take you deeper. You are ready for more. You are ready to understand how to turn this into a lifelong habit and how to make your 10 minutes not just a daily task, but something that shapes your way of thinking and living. Asterisk, asterisk, the first thing to remember is that your mind follows your focus. If you spend your 10 minutes each day thinking about what you cannot do yet, you will feel stuck. If you spend those minutes thinking about what you are doing well, you will feel motivated to keep going. This is why I want you to start each 10-minute session with a positive thought about your learning. It can be something simple like, I am improving, or I am learning a little more every day, or I am becoming a better speaker. When you speak these thoughts out loud, your brain hears them, and it begins to believe them. Changes your attitude toward learning and makes you look forward to your daily practice instead of treating it like a chore. Another thing I want you to understand is that 10 minutes can be as powerful as an hour when you use it with full energy and focus. Imagine holding a magnifying glass in the sun. If you keep moving it around, the sunlight spreads everywhere but doesn't do much. But if you hold it steady in one place, the sunlight becomes so focused that it can even burn paper. Your 10 minutes is like that sunlight. If you focus completely during that time, you can achieve a lot more than you think. This is why I keep saying no distractions. Put your phone away unless you are using it for learning. Turn off notifications. Tell the people around you that these 10 minutes are your special time. Protect it like something valuable, because it is dot and now. Let's talk about something that will make your micro-challenges even stronger, connecting them to your daily life. If you only use English during your 10 minutes and then forget about it for the rest of the day, your progress will be slower. But if you carry little pieces of your practice into the rest of your day, your learning will multiply without much extra effort. For example, if your 10-minute challenge for the day was learning one word, try to notice that word everywhere you can. Use it in a sentence when you talk to someone, even in your own language. If your challenge was to listen for certain words, keep your ears open during the day to catch them in songs or shows. If you spoke about a topic in your 10-minute practice, think about that topic again later and see if you can add more details to what you said. This keeps your brain working on English even when you are not officially studying. Now, let's be honest. There will be days when you don't feel like practicing. You might be tired, sad, busy, or just lazy. These are the days that will test you. And these are the days when you must remind yourself of your why. Are you learning English? Is it to get a better job? To travel confidently? To connect with people from around the world? To feel proud of yourself? Your reason is your fuel.
Cool.
When your fuel runs low, your why will fill your tank again. Some people fail because they forget their reason. They start strong, but when it gets boring or hard, they give up. You will not be one of those people. You will keep your reason in front of you. Maybe even write it down and read it before your 10 minutes every day. I also want you to understand the power of variety. Doing the same challenge every day can make you bored, and boredom can kill motivation. That's why I want you to change the type of micro-challenge you do. Focus on vocabulary, some days on speaking, some on listening, some on thinking in English. This keeps your mind fresh and interested. But remember, variety does not mean randomness. Every challenge should have a purpose. Even if it is small, something else that will help you is to measure your progress in ways that motivate you. Many people only measure progress with test scores or big milestones, but you can also measure in small, personal ways. Maybe you notice you can speak longer without stopping. Maybe you catch more words when listening to a song. Maybe you feel less nervous speaking in front of someone. These are signs of progress, even if no one else sees them. Celebrate them. Tell yourself, I am moving forward. When you see yourself improving, even a little, you feel excited too. Continue. Here's something that might surprise you. The more you practice in short, focused sessions, the more you will start to notice your weaknesses. You will realize certain words are hard for you to pronounce, or certain sentence patterns confuse you, or certain sounds are difficult to hear. This is good news. It means your brain is paying attention. When you notice a weakness, you can turn it into your next micro-challenge. If you struggle with a sound, spend your 10 minutes practicing that sound in different words. If you can't remember a certain phrase, focus on using it all day. In this way, your weaknesses become your teachers. I also want you to use your imagination in your 10 minutes. The brain loves stories and pictures. If you are learning a new word, imagine a funny or strange picture that connects to that word. If you are practicing speaking, pretend you are in a situation where you need to use that language. Maybe you are ordering food in a restaurant in another country, or telling a friend about your day. The more you make it real in your mind, the better your brain will remember it. And remember this, confidence is not something you wait to have before you speak. Confidence is something you build by speaking. At first, you will feel nervous, but the more you practice, the less nervous you will be. Confidence grows with action, not with waiting. So, in your micro-challenges, speak even if you feel unsure. Each time you do, you are building the muscle of confidence. You might be thinking, but I am learning alone. Will this really work? Yes, it will. Many people have learned languages by themselves with small, daily practice. The key is to keep going and to push yourself just a little more each day. If you learned one word yesterday, maybe today you use that word in 2 different sentences. If you listened for certain words yesterday, maybe today you try to write down what you heard. This gentle push every day makes you stronger without overwhelming you. The truth is, the 10-minute method is not just about learning English. It is about teaching yourself that you can change your life in small steps. People often think they need to do something big to make progress, but the big things are built from small, repeated actions. Just like water shapes a stone over time, your daily practice shapes your English until it becomes smooth and natural. Now I want you to imagine the future. Picture yourself 6 months from now if you follow this daily practice. You wake up one morning and realize you can watch a video in English and understand most of it without subtitles. You talk to someone and the words come out easily, without that long pause where you search your mind for the right phrase. You feel proud, and you smile because you remember how you started with just 10 minutes a day. That future is not a dream. It is waiting for you if you keep going. You see, every time you take your 10 minutes seriously, you are training your brain like an athlete trains muscles. An athlete doesn't become strong in one day. They repeat movements over and over, even when they feel tired, because they know each movement is adding strength. You are doing the same with English. Every small action, saying a sentence out loud, listening carefully, repeating a phrase, imagining a conversation is like one more lift of the weight. And just like exercise makes the body stronger, practice makes your English voice stronger. You might not see the change in one day, but after weeks and months, the difference will be clear. I want you to remember something important. Many people make the mistake of waiting for the perfect time to practice. They say, I will start when I am less busy, or I will practice when I feel ready, or I will do it tomorrow. But tomorrow is a trick. Tomorrow never comes, because when it arrives, it becomes today, and then you push it to another tomorrow. The only time you truly have is now. That's why the 10-minute method works so well. It removes excuses. You don't need hours. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need 10 minutes. Even the busiest person can find that time. And once you start, you realize it's easier than you thought. Sometimes people ask me, "What if I make mistakes during my 10 minutes?" And I tell them, "Good. That means you are learning." A mistake is not a sign of failure. It's a sign that you are trying. Every mistake is like a small signpost showing you where you need to focus next. If you never make mistakes, it means you are not challenging yourself enough. So during your 10 minutes, welcome the mistakes. Laugh at them if you can. Say to yourself, "I will do it better next time," and then keep going. The person who makes many mistakes but keeps practicing will always improve faster than the person who waits for perfection before speaking now. Let's talk about listening, because listening is the secret door to understanding. You want? To speak well, you must listen well. Your 10 minutes can be powerful if you use them to listen actively. Active listening means you are not just hearing sounds. You are trying to catch words, notice patterns, and feel the rhythm of the language. It's like listening to a song you love and trying to catch every note. If you only half listen, your brain will not catch much. But if you listen with full focus, even for a short time, your brain starts to map the sounds and meanings together. This makes speaking easier because your brain has heard the words enough times to remember them. I also want you to enjoy the language during your 10 minutes. If you enjoy it, you will want to do it again, okay? If you only see it as hard work, you will avoid it. This is why I say, choose material you like. If you love cooking, listen to a short cooking video in English. If you like sports, listen to sports commentary. If you like stories, listen to a short story or even a fairy tale. The more you connect English to things you love, the more natural it feels. Sometimes your 10 minutes will feel easy, and sometimes they will feel hard. On easy days, you will feel proud and happy. On hard days, you will feel frustrated. But both kinds of days are part of learning. If every day felt easy, you would not be growing. Okay. It is the hard days that stretch your skills and push you forward. So when you feel stuck or tired, remind yourself, this is the moment that matters most. If you can practice, even when it feels hard, you are building true strength. You might wonder how to remember the things you practice in your 10 minutes. The answer is simple: repetition. The brain loves to forget. If you only meet a word once, your brain will quickly drop it. But if you meet it again and again in different situations, your brain will start to keep it. Okay. This is why I tell you to recycle your challenges. If you've learned 5 new words this week, make them appear in your next 10-minute speaking practice. If you've practiced listening to a certain phrase, try to use that phrase yourself in the next challenge. The more you meet something, the more it becomes yours. Another tip I want to share is to make your 10 minutes a habit at the same time each day. The brain likes patterns. If you always practice after breakfast, your brain starts to expect it. If you always practice before bed, it becomes part of your nightly routine. When something becomes a habit, you don't have to use willpower to do it. You just do it automatically, like brushing your teeth. At first, you might have to remind yourself, but after a few weeks, it will feel natural. Let's talk about thinking in English. This is a skill that feels strange at first, but it is one of the most powerful. During your 10 minutes, try to keep all your thoughts in English, even simple ones. If you look at a chair, think chair, not the word in your first language. If you think about what to eat, say it in English in your head. At first, your mind will want to translate, but with practice, it will start to go straight to English. This makes speaking much faster because you are not translating in your head. The words just come. And here's another thing. Be kind to yourself. Learning a language is a long journey. You will have days when you feel like you are not improving. But those are the days when your brain is working quietly in the background, connecting all the small pieces you have learned. Trust the process. You do not plant a seed and expect a tree the next day. You water it, give it sunlight, and wait. Your 10 minutes are like water for your English tree. Keep giving it, and it will grow. I also want you to notice how the 10-minute practice changes the way you feel about learning. When you succeed in completing your daily challenge, even on busy days, you feel a small victory. That small victory gives you energy for the rest of your day. You start to see yourself as a person who keeps promises, who does what they say they will do. This builds not just your English, but your confidence in yourself. You start to think, if I can do this, maybe I can do other things I thought were too hard. And one last point before we move toward the next stage, share your journey. You don't need to post on social media if you don't want to, but tell someone close to you about your daily 10 minutes. When you tell someone, it makes your commitment stronger because now it is not just in your head. And if you share your small wins, you might inspire them to start their own challenge. And you will feel proud to be the reason someone else improves. By now, you understand that 10 minutes is not small at all. It is a seed that grows, a drop that fills the cup, a step that becomes a long journey. You have learned how to use it with focus, how to connect it to your life, how to welcome mistakes, how to listen with purpose, how to keep variety, how to repeat to remember, how to make it a habit, how to think in English, and how to be kind to yourself. You are no longer just someone who wants to learn. You are someone who is learning. One micro-challenge at a time, now that you have built the habit of your 10-minute English boost. I want you to imagine the future. Picture yourself 6 months from now. You have been practicing every day. You have spoken thousands of sentences. You have listened to hundreds of minutes of English. You have written and repeated more words than you thought possible. One day, without even noticing it, you speak to someone in English, and the words come smoothly. You hear yourself answering quickly, understanding easily, and feeling no fear. That moment will feel like magic, but it will not be magic. It will be the result of every small step you have taken. every 10 minutes you have given yourself, but the journey does not stop at 6 months. In fact, the longer you keep going, the easier it becomes. Your 10 minutes will start to feel short because you will enjoy them so much. Sometimes you might continue for 15 or 20 minutes without even realizing it. That's the power of building enjoyment into your practice. It stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like a part of who you are. You will no longer be someone learning English. You will simply be someone who uses English. Me tell you something important. Language is not only about words, it's about connection. When you improve your English, you are not just collecting vocabulary. You are opening doors to people, ideas, and opportunities. You will be able to read books that were once closed to you, understand movies without subtitles, make friends from different countries, and express your thoughts without waiting for translation. These are not small things. They are life-changing. Sometimes people think they need a perfect environment to learn. They imagine sitting at a big desk with no noise, perfect lighting, and all the time in the world. But real life is not like that. You might have noise around you. You might only have a short break between other tasks. You might feel tired. But this is the beauty of the 10-minute challenge. It fits into real life. You can practice in the kitchen while your food is cooking. You can practice on a bus, on a walk, or before you sleep. You can practice anywhere because your tools are your mind, your ears, and your voice. And let's talk about voice. Many learners feel shy about their accent. They worry about sounding different. But your accent is a part of your story. It shows where you came from, what your first language is, and the path you have walked to reach English. Do not see it as a problem. See it as a sign of your courage. You are speaking in a language that is not your first, and that is impressive. Over time, your pronunciation will improve naturally through listening and repeating. You do not need to erase your identity to speak well. A clear communication is the goal, not perfect imitation. Your 10-minute boost is also a place to play with language. You can try new words, experiment with different sentence structures, or copy the style of a speaker you admire. Think of it like trying on clothes in a shop. You can see what fits you and what feels comfortable. Some words will become your favorites. Some expressions will feel awkward at first, but later become natural. The more you experiment, the more flexible and confident you will become. One of the most powerful things you can do is to combine skills in your 10 minutes. For example, listen to something for 5 minutes and then speak about it for the next 5 minutes. Or read a short text and then write a short summary. This way, you connect the input, what you receive, with the output, what you produce. Connection is what makes learning stick, because your brain is using the same information in more than one way. You may also discover that the 10-minute method teaches you patience. At first, you might be eager to speak like a native right away, but the truth is, fluency comes step by step. Just as a tree does not grow overnight, your English will grow in its own time. But each day you practice, you are feeding it, strengthening it, and helping it stand taller. If you keep going, there will be a day when you look back and cannot believe how far you have come. Now let's talk about focus. The world is full of distractions, messages, videos, notifications. But for your 10 minutes, I want you to create a small bubble of attention. Even if you are in a busy place, tell yourself, for the next 10 minutes, English is my only job. If you can give yourself these short, sharp moments of focus, you will get more benefit from them than from hours of distracted study. This focus trains your brain to work deeply, and that skill will help you in every area of life. And remember this, motivation is like the weather. It changes. Some days you will feel sunny and full of energy. Other days you will feel cloudy and slow. Do not wait for sunny days to practice. Practice on all days, because when you practice even without motivation, you are relying on discipline, and discipline is much stronger than motivation. Motivation will bring you to the door, but discipline will carry you through it, even when the wind is against you. You can also use your 10 minutes to reflect. At the end of each session, think about one thing you did well and one thing you can improve. This keeps you honest with yourself and gives you a small target for the next day. Over time, these tiny targets add up to big changes. And the best part is, you will start to see progress in areas you didn't even plan. You might notice your listening getting sharper or your speaking becoming smoother. Simply because you have been showing up every day, the 10-Minute English Boost is not just a method, it is a promise you make to yourself. A promise to keep growing, to keep learning, and to keep moving forward even when the road feels long. And when you keep that promise, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. You become someone who doesn't just dream, you act. So here is my final challenge to you. Start today, not tomorrow. Give yourself 10 minutes, fully focused, fully present. Do it again tomorrow, and the next day, and keep going. You do not need to do everything at once. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to keep walking, step by step, word by word, minute by minute. Your English will grow. Your confidence will grow. And one day, you will realize that what once felt like a dream is now your everyday reality. This is your journey. This is your time. And it begins with just 10 minutes.